What if the real threat isn't the groups being exposed, but the people doing the exposing? Propaganda leads to dehumanizing people. Everyone has great reasons, individually, to distrust journalists these days. Yet the Russian RACIRS machine should be studied thoroughly. Journalist Kristina Cirokova claims that a dangerous sect, supposedly worse than ISIS, operates in Slovakia and the Czech Republic. She alleges these sect members have infiltrated government offices and are attacking her and her colleagues, threatening her freedom of speech. And what if it's a carefully crafted lie? Evidence reveals that Cirokova and her associates pose a far greater threat. For years, they've worked to undermine democracy, spread defamatory claims, and collaborate with RACIRS, a Russian pro-religious organization that has ties to the Russian Orthodox Church. Here's where it gets alarming, though. The president of RACIRS, Alexander Dvorkin, is a disciple of a Nazi ideologue. So what lessons did he learn from such a figure? RACIRS mirrors Nazi Germany's Apologetics Center, led by Walter Kunath, who provided the Gestapo with lists of supposed sects for destruction. Today, Dvorkin compiles similar lists, enabling Russian law enforcement to raid homes and fabricate cases. Coincidence? No, I don't think so. When Alatra was labeled as extremists in Russia, Cirokova wasted no time whatsoever publishing an article comparing them to ISIS. Like the 400 articles that were released just 3 weeks ago to promote Dvorkin's ideology. You see, over the course of 3 weeks, 400 articles were released. It's a calculated effort to dehumanize individuals and dismantle democratic institutions. But RACIRS' actions extend beyond words. In Ukraine, they branded entire communities as sectarians. This rhetoric escalated into violence, pushing Russian citizens to commit atrocities under the guise of protecting traditional values. They claim killing guarantees salvation, a narrative that is disturbingly similar to how ISIS recruits suicide bombers. Doesn't this sound familiar? Cirokova, however, is searching for ISIS parallels in the wrong place. Her articles themselves mirror RACIRS propaganda. While she denies affiliation, her work appears alongside anti-cult narratives on platforms like secti.tv. The historical parallels are clear. This isn't the first time propaganda has paved the way for atrocities. Julius Streicher, editor of the Nazi publication Der Stürmer, claimed he was merely informing the public, but at the Nuremberg trials, his propaganda was deemed instrumental in the Holocaust itself. Streicher was the only person sentenced to death for inciting genocide, not through violence, but through words. So ask yourself, like I've asked myself, why are journalists like Cirokova publishing baseless accusations and personal information? Why are their articles designed to incite hatred and not inform? And where will this lead if left unchecked? You see, propaganda actually starts small but spirals into catastrophes. In Nazi Germany, persecution began with sectarians like Jehovah's Witnesses, yet today in Russia, these same groups face torture and imprisonment. What begins with targeting sects ends with systematic dehumanization. The same orchestrators behind RACIRS have been persecuting Alatra participants for over a decade, ruining lives. If we ignore this, what comes next? Will we accept a world where propaganda dehumanizes people, strips them of their rights, and lays the groundwork for persecution? Or will we act now, before the cycle repeats itself, and new symbols replace the yellow stars of history?